The Northern Gulf Institute's Jonathan Harris worked alongside award-winning playwrights and current Mississippi State University faculty member Tonya Hayes to create an original play about climate change and its potential impact on the Gulf coastal region. The play submitted to the Mississippi Theater Festival won Best Original Work for Social Change, as well as a number of other awards for student acting.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Harris. I'm the Education Outreach Director for the Northern Gulf Institute here at Mississippi State. The Northern Gulf Institute is a NOAA cooperative institute that researches marine, earth, and atmospheric science. Part of our projects are to develop and push out information to the citizens of the United States. Specifically, my job is to help develop scientific curriculum and push it out to the hands of teachers, students, and citizens who are interested in marine science. A lot of the information we do nowadays, especially the marine and atmospheric sciences, is stuff that people are seeing every day in the news, the weather especially. But you're also talking about the pandemic, you're talking about climate change, you're talking about any kind of problems, earthquakes, anything like that, any earth or atmospheric marine science we're dealing with. So one of the things I try to do when I'm getting this information out is for it to not be scary, because science can be scary, especially a lot of the stuff that we deal with. So I reached out to Tonya Hayes to try to develop something that would be more student and child friendly, and part of it was to reach out and use her experience with teaching theater and putting out and developing theater products that people really have always enjoyed watching. With that, I want to sort of lean towards this project Hello Opportunity that we developed that gave us the opportunity to teach about environmental science and climate change and from a futurist perspective.
I'm a theater maker, and theater makers are simply storytellers. So that ties right into what John was saying. And last year I was at Gulfport High School. I needed to do a play, a shorter play, a one act. And when John said, "Hey, are you interested in writing something about climate change?" I said, "Absolutely." It's interesting because I had been so taken with the idea of saying goodbye to the Mars rover and how sad that was and how emotional people got about saying goodbye to this little rover this little machine that rolled around Mars for many years, and it was only supposed to last like 90 days or something. And so I shared that with my daughter Aubrey Hayes, and she decided to write a song about it just because she thought the idea was incredible. So I said, "John, I've got to tie in the Mars rover with this idea somehow." So I started reading books. I did a lot of research, and I looked at some of the ways that they're thinking about dealing with climate change, and one of them is the colonization of Mars. So it ended up that we had kind of two worlds that kind of interwove and interacted. We had a group of scientists back on Earth, and in the images that you'll see there in kind of the blues and greens, representing the colors of Earth, and then we had the colonists at the Elon colony, a direct tie-in with Elon Musk, on Mars. They're actually living underground, and they're in kind of the browns and reds colors. The students, the younger generation on that planet, does not realize that they're not on Earth. So the students get connected with these scientists who have long since passed, and they decide that they don't want to stay on this planet, that they want to go back to the Earth and pick up the job, and that the gauntlet has been thrown for them to replenish the Earth as well. So that's kind of how the whole, and it ends with a song called "Bring Them to the Light," and they're actually emerging from the spaceship out into the world of the Earth, and you hear the birds chirping, and we do some really cool things with light at that point. So it leaves the audience with hope.
Love starts with a spark, turning into a flame.
one thing we did with the show is we got to present at 2 different festivals, one at USM and then one again at Ole Miss, and we did a workshop there for any of the participants that came. I think one of the great things that, like, especially teachers that came to that workshop that walked away with was like, yeah, we can approach scientific educational groups and use this science and work in the realm of STEAM instead of STEM,
Right.
because you talk about how STEAM is now the new acronym, because the arts and science together are very powerful. So that was a really great takeoff of that. But I think one thing that we left the students with is, we're bringing you this problem. We want you to be educated. We want you to understand that this is something you're inheriting, the earth, from us. And we haven't done the best job with it. But with this education, you also have the opportunity to change it. One of the things the students were really concerned about as we got more into it was how is the audience going to respond, because they had adults telling them climate change isn't real, and one of the parents didn't even come to see the show because he just thought it was wrong. So John came and talked to the students, and I'll let him talk a little bit about that, as well as he did a talk back after one of the performances.
Yeah. The thing is, we had this show, this Hello Opportunity show, and it gave us the opportunity to provide sort of a face-to-face, scientist-to-citizens event that got ideas out there that a lot of people were scared of. And it was phenomenal because the show was great. It was award-winning. It was viewed by hundreds of people, literally, 16 different schools, at numerous competitions. We reached a large group of people. And it was really great to be able to do that, to get the ideas out there and have the kids do all the research that they did was really a wonderful situation. At the end of the year, we had an annual review and a 3-year review where the subcommittees in Congress and everybody that funds the NGI talks about how projects we did. And they actually stated that our education outreach model that we've been using was what the rest of the nation's scientific organizations should be using as a model, and I thought that was phenomenal. The opportunity, the hope, the design, this show, this idea, this whole concept that we're developing, is to bring out an idea of hope, to push for a betterment of the future, and to do that, we're teaching the sciences through the arts. So that's where we're at, is trying to build on the future.
So hello opportunity.
So hello opportunity.